felt, just let the space speak loud. I was holding on to nothing, still calling your name out loud. And I don't chase shadows anymore, not breaking my heart when you close the door. If love is real, it shouldn't feel like war. You're afraid of love, can see it in your eyes. Every time I get close, you pull away and hide. You can't hold me no more. I'm done with your lies. Now I'm gone from your world. I don't feel your desire. I don't hate you, I just see it now. I don't hate you, I just see it now. I walk past your memory like it's someone I used to know.
God, you look so pretty when you tell me that you love.
What did we have?
On my face when I'm burning down. Never gonna change till I'm dead and gone. Heaven knows I'm burning, but I'm holding on. I've been going crazy 'cause I'm in the air. I'm in the air. Denver, New York, truth is, you want to rap for sure. Denver, New York, truth is, you like to rap. On my face when I'm burning down. Never gonna change till I'm dead and gone. Heaven knows I'm burning, but I'm holding on. I've been going crazy 'cause I'm in the air. No, 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 I'm not what they say I feel it now, no, no, I'm not what they say on my face when I'm you ain't even on me. Yeah, yeah. Fall back too close. You ain't even on me. Trust my brothers from way back from the north. It's me and Dior. Spend it like they owe me. Gotta stay select. Don't come.
When you feel like quitting, remember all of those who building a stronger you, a stronger body, a stronger mind, and a stronger character. So push through the pain. Don't let it stop you. Force it to grow you.
When you feel like quitting, remember why you started. Look deep within, you're stronger than a Spartan. You're stronger than you think, no longer faint-hearted. You've been here before.
Lately, I've been thinking, I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier. When the morning comes and we see what we've become.
grandpa was on the way to the studio. And Cuz had that Wiz and Currency mixtape in the tape deck, the City Changer. And I heard this beat, I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, you know, only thought it's right for my 58,000 league. Shit on, here we go, like this. Look, 7 days a week, 7 different freaks, but I got tired of fucking hoes, so I just smoke and count my cheeks. Watching Godfather, leather couches, flat screens. I say I'm on this marathon. She asked me what does that mean? Ain't no puffin' pass, please. Roll your own, I do the same. Girl, get on that Marlon Brando and stop trying to pick my brain. Your boyfriend is a lame, that's why you not used to this game. And if you looking for me, I'll be first class on the plane. X-name my landing gear, cause I don't need no runway. My final destination is a cloud since a one-way. Fucking with them streets, ain't no stranger to this gunplay. But now I eat these beats and I don't never take a lunch break. Back to back, swishing sweets, never grow no sober shit. Post-traumatic stress, I feel like that's what I'm coping with. So I smoke the best, impossible not to notice this. 30,000 feet up across the Atlantic Ocean with a pack of swishers. In the box I ain't even open yet. I'm trying to live my life so when it's over I got no regrets. Multiply what you approach it with. Got to roll the dice, but the first time that you can go legit. Seize the opportunity, believe and take control of it. Then get on your marathon and run it till it's over with. Napa Valley Dolce, my cup runneth over with. My trunk is in my roof, hey, you know who you rolling with. Hustle. Hustle.
I know a place we can go where you can be yourself and you ain't gotta worry, and we ain't gotta rush cause we not in no hurry. You can't be afraid to let go. You gotta let go of yourself, but you ain't gotta worry cause this gon' take some time, but we not in no hurry.
58,000. This marathon continues. Young Money. Yeah. So I tell her, now down, pop that pussy for a real nigga. I already know that life is deep, but I still dig her. Niggas is jealous, but really I could care less. I'm in Hell's Kitchen with an apron and a hairnet. Devil on my shoulders, the Lord is my witness. So on my Libra scale, I'm weighing sins and forgiveness. What goes around comes around like a hula hoop. Karma is a bitch, well just make sure that bitch is beautiful. Life on the edge, I'm dangling my feet. I tried to pay attention, but attention paid me. Haters can't see me, nosebleed seats. And today I went shopping, and talk is still cheap. I rock to the beat of my drum set. I've been at the top for a while and I ain't jumped yet. But I'm Ray Charles to the bullshit, and I jump up on that dick and do a full split. She just started to pop it for a nigga and looked back and told me, baby, it's real. And I say I ain't doubt you for a second. I squeeze it and I could tell how it feel. I wish we could take off and go anywhere but here, baby, you know the deal. And she bad, so maybe she won't, but shit, then again, maybe she will. Yeah, do it for the realest niggas in the fucking game right now. She will, yeah. Do it for the realest niggas in the fucking game right now. She will, she will, she will. Maybe for the money and the power and the fame right now. She will, she will, she will. Do it for the realest niggas in the fucking game right now. She will, she will, she will, she will. Yeah. I tell her, not gone, pop that pussy for me. Haters can't see me, but them bitches still looking for me. And you could take that to the bank and deposit that. Put your 2 cents in and get $1 back. Some
People hang you out to dry like a towel rack. I'm all about I give the rest of the vowels back. I like my girl thick, not just kinda fine. Eat her till she cry, call that wine and dine. Try to check me and I'ma have them checking pulses. They say choose wisely, that's why I was chosen. Rocking like asphalt, it's the cash fault. Looked in the face of death and took its mask off. Now I like my house big and my grass soft. I like my girl face south and her ass north. But I'm Ray Charles to the bullshit. Now hop up on that dick and do a full split. She just started to pop it for a nigga and looked back and told me, baby, it's real. And I say I ain't doubt you for a second. I squeeze it and I could tell how it feel. I wish we could take off and go anywhere but here, baby, you know the deal. And she bad, so maybe she won't, but shit, then again, maybe she will. Yeah, do it for the realest niggas in the fucking game right now, she will. Yeah, do it for the realest niggas in the fucking game right now, she will. Maybe for the money and the power and the fame right now, she will. Do it for the realest niggas in the fucking game right now, she will. Ladies and gentlemen, Drizzy. She just started to pop it for a nigga and looked back and told me, baby, it's real. And I say I ain't doubt you for a second. I squeeze it and I could tell how it feel. Feeling like the sky's opening and I am. I wish we could take off and go anywhere but here, baby, you know the deal. And she bad, so maybe she won't, but shit, then again, maybe she will. Yeah, do it for the realest niggas in the fucking game right now, she will. Yeah, do it for the realest niggas in the fucking game right now, she will. Maybe for the money and the power and the fame right now, she will. Do it for the realest niggas in the fucking game right now, she will. Well, I know what you're thinking. You got me figured out all wrong. I got a dirty laundry list on me that reads a mile long. What you looking for, red flag? I got all different kinds, but there ain't no truth to the lies that you heard about me. I got bones hanging next to my clothes, and it's under the nose, it ain't hard to see. I got a price tag on this heavy head of mine, and they probably rather see me dead than alive. It's okay, I don't really aim to please much anyway, but a name is a name, and mine may as well be a curse. It's just easy to say I'm the worst. You can say that I'm an outlaw, just a bandit on the run, riding around with this band of thieves, trying to steal some hearts for fun. So do me a favor, save me the bullshit today, 'cause I got way too much on my plate, trying to scrub the dust from my name. I guess what I'm trying to say is it just ain't me. I'm not the monster that the whole town's trying to find, and they probably rather see me dead than alive. It's okay, I don't really aim to please much anyway, but a name is a name, and mine may as well be a curse. It's just easy to say I'm the worst. It's just easy to say I'm the worst. So tell me what I am, tell me what I'm not. Go ahead and tear my name apart, 'cause the man I am just ain't the one you want. And I ain't gonna change, I'm never gonna stop. We could go on and on and on about the man I am just ain't the one you want. 'Cause I know what you're thinking. You got me figured out all wrong. I got a dirty laundry list on me that reads a mile long.
What up, dude? Can you hear me? Okay. How long you been trading for?
I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling myself. Fuck everyone else. Gotta remember that nobody's better than anyone else here. You need some time to think it over. Look what they do to you. Look what they do to me. You must be joking if you think that either one is free here. Get up off your knees, girl. Stand face to face with your God. Find out what you are. Hello, my name is human. Hello, my name is human. And I came down from the stars. Hello, my name is human.
Yeah, man, it's a long road. If I can give you any advice, 90% of anything and everything you ever hear anyone talk about or say with trading, completely disregard. It takes a long time to get proficient at it. But man, don't look at it as something like you can just go right away and just make a ton of money doing. Give yourself the time, and with that time, it eventually all becomes worth it. You know, trading. The interesting thing about trading is not a big, like this one setup gig. It's all the little things, right? Like there's certain markets where I don't want to really be doing a ton of shorting. Then I know after we have markets where we're going up really hard in small caps, I know that it's going to be great to short, let's say in a day or two. It's so much of a big picture, you know? So like here, I can give you an example of one. Okay. Last week, so I shorted all this. Last week, I started aggressively into this level here at 492. I can show you where I got that from in a minute. I started shorting here. Okay, a week ago, I would never ever consider starting my short right here on this first arrow. I would have waited for it to top, but you can see, so I have levels. I was just shorting my levels. And then this will be like 10 or 15% my size. Then I'm into 30. We come up and we fail. This was the area I was expecting us to fail at. I'll get in really heavy here and then come right back down and ride it out. But the big thing is like a week ago, I would never do this because the China stocks were going crazy. These now are what we call liquidity traps. So if we zoom out, this stock went parabolic this day. So it went from $3.50 to $10, okay? The process of it going from $3.50 to $10, there's a ton of people who bought up here. And instead of running a stop loss, they held. So we call them bag holders. So you can look down at the volume and figure out kind of where they're at. Once you have a good idea where they're at, you can short against those levels. So that's exactly all I was doing, for instance, today, here. So these were two levels I had. There were a ton of people who bought somewhere up here. It tanked on them. They saw it go sideways here. They bought more, and then it failed. So now they're holding all this stuff with like an average price, let's say, of $7 to $9. There's a good probability that as this makes its way back up into that area, you know, this area over here, it's going to sell off. So you can see at 495, 551, 596. Okay. That's what I was shorting off of, was those three levels. Last week I could not do that. This week the market conditions are different, so I have to adjust what I'm doing to trade. And I'm never really trading this chart, this 2-minute chart. I'm trading the big time frame. I'm always trading the big time frame from days ago, or general areas where I think a stock is going to stop. If you're trading just the daily or this one time frame and this is all you're looking at, it's just the death. It's the death of a person. You'll lose money every time because that's their whole goal. The whole goal is to get people to think it's a long or to think it's a short and do the opposite. Ooh, good. So, here, where's volume? Okay, so we have pull off.
All I ever do is shoot.
somewhere in between here and like $2.40, I would expect. Okay, and also, this very potentially is just going to dump on me. But I normally don't want to short the first pop. I want to let it pop another time. And that's when I will start shorting. So like right now, there's a bunch of people shorting. I want to wait for this to stop shorting. I want this to pop one more time, and then I want to be able to short off of it. So, and I have hotkeys for everything. So like right now, I'm going to check the news. So they have news 5 minutes ago. Polar Power secures up to 25 million committed equity facility to support growth. 3 million float, 3.6 million shares outstanding. They don't have a ton of overall dilution. It's a US stock, so the chances of them doing something stupid with it are a lot lower. So I have levels at 224, 240, and then that previous high. Realistically, 275 is like the high of this stock. So like basically, if this broke 275, $3, let's say, if this broke around that $3 and it didn't fail really quickly afterwards, unless it goes parabolic, I want nothing to do with shorting that stock. So like I'll probably end up trading this ticker right here. So right now, what I'm watching the volume. The volume will tell me a ton. So basically what we want to see is volume going to increase or not? See, volume's coming in now. So what I'm watching for is volume increasing. If volume's increasing, whoever's in control of the stock is most likely trying to push it. Yeah, so like what I'm gonna do is like right here, volume's not coming in. So volume always tells you everything. Like volume will never lie. So like, okay, you can see right down here. I'm just waiting to see, are they pushing it on more volume or less? So like if this breaks up here, it's also like how you manage it. So I don't run a super tight stop on a ton of tickets. This actually has a decent catalyst on it. So, and then I have hotkeys that do everything for me. So like I use hotkeys for my setup, or for the setup. So like we don't have a ton of volume coming in yet. I'm not overly worried, and this is going to be 5% of my size. If I take a tiny loss on it up front, it really doesn't bother me. You know, the whole goal with trading is just to remain completely unfazed on a ticker. And that's the hardest part. You're never trading this ticker. You're just trading the thing in between your mind. I'm gonna try to start it right. So, and you can see that purple arrow, that's gonna show you when I'm taking trades and when I'm not. So I'm already getting filled on some of my position. 5 cents, but it's, you know, you think of it like, okay, so let's say you're trading 1,000 shares, dude. There's $50, and so I've already taken some profits. So I don't have to worry about positions going against me. Do you ever have price targets that you aim to hit before trimming? Yes, I do. Okay, so I'm always, if once you start watching what I'll do, so give me a second here. Okay, so it depends on the ticker. So like right now I'm just scalping in and out of this thing because I don't know what it wants to do yet. But you could go and draw, let's say, a line somewhere around here. This is a center point. It's like an axis, okay? If it comes down here, there's a good chance it's going to bounce into this area again over here, into the 212s, before it would fail, right? So, depending on my setups that I'm taking, there's some of these that like, I don't know what exactly this thing wants to do. So I'm just trading the price action based around it, right? Okay, so when I'm trading the price action based around it, I know that somewhere around here, if there's a buyer, that buyer is going to be sitting most likely right in this area, or my buyer is most likely going to be sitting in this area. So anywhere, you see how it's coming down here and bouncing? Anywhere in this general area, I'm going to expect this to come down. If it's going to fail, what it would do is it will come down, it'll fail, bounce back up here, and then fail again. So what I'll try and do is I'll just hit it twice. And so if this is a curl, so if this curls, this is where you would start for a next leg. So like this right now, I'm watching the volume. If volume continues to rise, I'm not going to want a ton to do with it. So what I could do is I can pull some of my position back in the ticker. I can pull some of my position back in the ticker, which I already did lightened up. So now it can go against me and it doesn't really hurt. So that's all I'm watching right now is the volume. If the volume comes in, I'll do the same again, and I'll just continue to lighten up. Okay, you can notice on that 1 minute bar, the volume didn't increase a ton. The volume's gonna have to increase for someone to push it. And this general area in between here and 0225, this is the general kind of area from the past. I can show you that in a bit. So like, I like that I added there. But this is a bag holder area as well from I can show you the area back. Well, here. I have another screen up on my right that has it. But okay, you see this volume day? There was 70 million shares done here that day. That means that on this day, 31st, on the 31st of April or March, a bunch of people got caught in that stock. So they're going to be holding, what I'm looking at was the average price of where they're most likely holding from. Okay, so when this comes up into that, imagine all the people there, and what they're going to do is it gets back up there. It's not all the time, but a majority of the time it's going to pop back up there, and those people are going to sell their shares. Does that make sense? So it's going to create a pressure on the stock, and it's going to make it hard to get through it. And so if you look at this one, this is what we're talking about with the grinding. I don't want to be in a stock like this with massive size if it's grinding, because it can turn into the parabolic. So this right now, it's moving, you know, let's say 8 cents every 2 minute candle. Well, the problem is this thing can now start, or once it starts picking up, it can move 50 cents to $1 a 2 minute candle. And that's when you just get yourself into a ton of trouble. Like, I'm in such small size right now, it means absolutely nothing. If I were to take a loss on it, I would lose, let's say, 5% of my day. But, and so like you can see, like right now, I'm not adding. I'm watching the volume and what the ticker is, what the ticker's doing, because it's so new. If all of a sudden this thing really starts to wake up, then I just get patient. But we know under 240 is where this thing's going to have, most likely have issues getting through. And so you got to think, okay, there's a ton. Also, you got to think who's in the stock. Okay, so I know that there's a ton of breakout traders that are going to go and they're going to buy above there. They're going to buy above here. Okay, so your whole goal is to watch them get trapped. And this thing very potentially may want to push up into the 240, which wouldn't surprise me at all. And you have to remember, this is the only ticker moving. So if it's the only ticker moving, the chances of this thing grinding for a decent amount of time is always better too. So my first step is always, I'm looking at the daily chart. This chart right here. Then after I look at the daily chart, I'm trying to figure out where the bag holder, if I'm shorting, I'm trying to figure out where the bag holders are. Okay, we know there's I know there's bag holders in this stock between here and 270, okay? So if you notice how this thing pushed up real easy into 210. So bag holders are going to be between 210 to 270, but the big area is going to be around here to here, or sorry, 240, not 250. And so that's what I'm doing on this ticker right now, is I'm actually being patient with it to see if it's going to give a dump. If it's going to keep grinding, these are the ones, like I told you, that end up getting people into trouble. So when I'm talking about stair stepping, see how it stairs up, comes down, stair steps up. Okay? What I want to see is it come down and then potentially, and then fail, now trap all these people too. The big issue you run into is that doesn't always happen. So I'm watching this thing move 8 cents to 10 cents a 2-minute bar. I'm sizing for that. My position sizing is reflecting that volatility. Well, what do you do when the stock starts making massive moves? Right? That's when you get into big trouble. Like big trouble. And watch, this was that general area we were talking about. And so, like, when you see me peeling my position too, this is very okay. So what I just took off is extremely small size. What I'm doing is I'm funding myself so that if it does bounce, I'm not getting myself caught in a trade that I can't get myself essentially out of. So like I can tell you right now, I've taken off 15% of my position. And what I'm watching right now is I want to see volume. I don't want to see volume stay super, super light. But this is that level I told you about, where if it's going to bounce, it's most likely going to bounce here. And the reason it's most likely going to bounce here, and this is stuff people don't talk about, there's a bunch of people who shorted. You know, I told you I didn't want to short the first pop. It's because there's a ton of people who short this first pop and think it's going to die right away. Well, they're stuck right now. Okay, so since they're stuck, what are they going to do? They're going to buy their shares back when it comes back to that area. They're most likely not going to hold it the whole way down. They're going to buy them back. Well, that buying is no different than a long buying. It still can force the stock to go up. So longs know that too. So you're going to have long traders. They're not buying the moving average. They're buying this area. And so now we had the first trade here where we took some off, made money. Lightened up a little bit coming through, re-hit it all the way. Re-hit it all over again right here. Write it down. Okay? Now, you're asking if I'll hold for a bigger picture. Here's when I'll hold for a bigger picture. If I get a massive flush out of this, right? Not stair-stepping down. If this bar coming through here had looked like this and was that big coming down, yeah, I'd cover into this, hold a good position, and then I would short higher and ride it way down. This is telling us right now exactly what it wants to do. You see how that level I showed you, it bounced off that? It's just knowing your participants. Who's in the market with you? Where are they trapped? Where are they in pain? Are they making money? Are they losing money? Who's doing well and who isn't? As long as you know those two things, it's just being patient and trading around that position. And the biggest thing then is just maintaining your emotions when you're doing it. That's the hardest part of when you start, you know. So we know that anyone who longed up here right now is underwater. We have bag holders above, and now we have bag holders right here. There's going to be people who short this next bar right here. If this thing just dips right below and bounces, that's probably where your bounce would start. And that's exactly what's happening right now, is there's people buying the dip right here on this long position, betting that's going to dip 1 or 2 cents below and then bounce back up. Next profit targets will be right here. And this is the general area where if it's going to bounce, it should bounce right here. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, because it's stair-stepping. Stair-stepping up, so far it's doing the same thing down. So I'm never taking profits just where I want to. I'm taking profits where the stock is telling me what it wants to do. Because here's the thing, if this is stair-stepping, think about this, okay? We made an average of 213 to 206. We made 7 cents here. Rehit, we took on 10% size, we took a 5 or 6 cent loss. Okay? We kept 90% of our position through it. Okay, when it came up here, we shorted at 212, rode it all the way down to $2 is where we took our last one. The majority of our covers were at 202. So that means realistically we're already up 17 cents, but the stock has gone from 223 down to $2. We've essentially taken the whole move out of it. We just re-hit it twice. So there's a lot of these tickers where it looks like I'm taking a small move out of it, but by me coming in and out from doing this for so long, I'll make more doing it that way. And then when it does finally dump, when it finally dumps, on top of me trading in and out of the ticker, I'll make more money than if I just took the huge dump the whole way down the way it is. Because here's the thing the other thing that's going to happen. My win rate, if I'm expecting this to dump, let's say, if it doesn't, now I can't lose money. But let's say I didn't take anything off right here. If this goes through the high now, I take a loss on the ticker in general. So, here, these are some of my positions for the day. So you can see I'm green on almost everything I trade. But I've also been doing this for 7 years. So now all I'm doing is holding, waiting, hoping for more, because I can't, if there's someone in here wanting to control this ticker, there's nothing I can do about it. you got to remember, there's institutions are the ones that are moving this ticker, not institutions are the ones moving these tickers, not us. And they're trying to raise capital. So what they do is they dilute the shares. They dilute the ticker. They shoot it up, they get a bunch of people to buy it, and then they sell new shares into the stock. So they're the ones that are creating the pressure for this to go down. The ones I want to be super careful of, all these stocks that you've seen going parabolic recently, they're low float and they're Chinese stocks. So we're trading Pola. Okay. Here's Pola. Right away when this ticker pulls up, I pull it up. I know this is a US company. I know the float's 2.8 million, so it can actually be pretty volatile. They could wake this they can make this ticker look tame. They can wake this ticker up at any time and make it do something crazy. Okay? Now I go into dilution, and then I'll also be looking. It only has a month of cash left, which means they need cash. It doesn't have a ton of dilution though, and this is the dilution. Convertible notes, convertibles. There's warrants, but these have all been exercised. So that's one of the things I'm always looking at. I'm trying to figure out what is raisable. That and who is the institution behind it. Think equity, super toxic. Like, they're known to dilute the shit out of tickers. So the other thing you have to think of is they can also be gapping this up for tomorrow. So I'm always I'm always analyzing multiple things on that ticker to give myself the best probability of making a winning trade out of it. I hate losing. And so there are certain tickers that I'll hold, like that ticker I posted the other day. I'll hold that ticker forever because it was a Chinese ticker, it was parabolic, and they were halting it into the close. You just knew they wanted to liquidate that ticker. When I know that's coming, I don't just hold, I'm adding on the way down as well. So if this thing's going to sell down, now it made its two legs up. People have bought this right here thinking it's going higher. If it's going to go lower, it'll probably be somewhere around here. If not, what's going to happen is now it's going to curl and it's going to start pushing again. But if I had to guess, there isn't a ton of sell volume in here, but that means there also isn't a ton of buy volume. So if this thing starts catching people off guard, it can then take momentum to the downside. And the biggest thing is, like, what you can notice is you have to have no emotion behind the ticker at all. I know that there's a very good possibility on a ticker like this I could lose money. But here's the thing. I know if you give me 100 tickers and I trade those 100 tickers over and over again, I'm going to be profitable. The problem is everyone gets attached to the outcome of that one trade. I really don't care what happens in this one trade. I'm always going to size where I'm not going to hurt my account. I'm going to try and put myself in a position where I don't get caught. And whether I win or lose, that one trade means nothing. And I can feel days where I know I know I'm not going to trade well. It's something inside me that like just it doesn't feel right. This is that damn area I told you that we were probably going to sit at. Do you have any preferred style of trading yourself? Like any setups in general you look for? Yeah. I mean the liquidity traps. Those are. It's the best. It's one of the best setups in the world. Like here. Okay, you can see right here. One second. Okay, so now I can see it. Okay. You can see on a ticker like this, it's stair stepping, and where it's stair stepping into the previous resistance level. So like look, you have one here. The big area is right here. And what caught everyone off guard in this ticker? If you're a long seller, you have to think like a short. If you're a short, you have to think like you're long. Okay? What caught everyone is how deep these pullbacks are. See how deep that is? Everyone thought this was done. So what did they do? The stock made this move up right here. Because we had this big pullback here. Everyone thought this thing was going to dump, so they started piling in right here. So they all start piling in right there. That's the squeeze right here from that piling in. But the ticker showed you already that it was still going up with massive pullbacks. So all these people... One second. Boom. We're taking off another third right here. Okay, going back to... and then what I'll do... I'll lead this area right here. Go and buy order right there. It's going to bounce. It'll be somewhere in between here and here. Yep. Okay. We'll go back to DIYA. So if you're a long, you want to think like a short. Everyone saw these two massive pullbacks down. Right? They see these two massive pullbacks down. One from $4.90 down to $3.90. Well, two things happened there. Two things happened there, okay? Okay, so the big thing that happened is this area right here. This area right here kicked out all the longs. So the problem is it's hard to get a stock going up when there's a bunch of longs in it, because every time it goes up, they start selling shares. You want them to sell their shares before the move goes. Well, that's what these pullbacks are. So like, I know guys today coming into after hours, they were buying this area right here. You had a ton of shorts in here earlier. So this whole area, they had been buying. Coming into that move. Well, most longs got kicked out because most longs are trying to buy the breakout. Everyone I know that trades these are buying dips. Or everyone I know that's making good money trading them is buying a dip. You know, and don't get me wrong, like, there are good long areas in here. Like, for instance, see it right here, this pop. This is why you see me taking profits into these levels, because look what happens. We had this congestion right here. Shot above it, comes back into it. Longs are buying that level, and then it just rips shorts up. That and BIYA, when this thing was moving, the reason I was such small size off the get-go, I was willing to scale into it, was I knew there was nothing else at that time moving. So that means there's a bunch of people trading it. If there's a bunch of people trading it, one, it's probably not going to die super fast. It's going to take its time because there's so many people getting in and out of the ticker.
My father is damn hard to impress, making bad decisions as a reckless kid. Never known I want to go back to it. 'Cause I'm one step away from dying, 2 steps back, far away from trying, 3 steps ahead of myself, I'm relying.
That, and if you're long, alright, remember your time frame. Your time frame is huge. If they're going to push a stock, it's most likely going to be, you know, it's most likely going to fail within the first hour and a half. If it doesn't fail within the first hour and a half, I'm really waiting patiently before I'm ever considering shorting. Yeah, it'll hit those levels perfect and then bounce. Watch this, okay? If you're a breakout trader, right? Let's pick a stock here. Okay, so you're a breakout trader. If you're a breakout trader, you bought this high today, what happened? You got shit on. You then bought this high right here, what happens? You got shit on. Then all of a sudden, look, we're breaking out above this previous high. What happens? You got shit on. Breakout traders, especially to the long side, I'm always betting that the breakout's going to fail if I'm going to scalp the trade. Then I'm watching, are the bars getting bigger? Are the bars getting smaller? What are they doing, right? Just like pull-up. You remember right away how he drew that box? Right here? Look at all the wicks. It's a huge exchange area. What it do? It comes down into that, and now it bounces. So if I'm short up here, I want to see a big candle coming through to break this thing down right away. Then I'm holding the whole position. Well, what did we get here? We got a little pop, slow wick down, slow move down, comes down, bounces, comes down, bounces up, bounces down. Stock's already telling me it's a 50-50 chance. So if I'm already in the money at that point, I'm going to take some off. I'm going to lock in some of my profits, because there's no point of me sitting in something, taking a loss on it when I can for sure take a win. And it's already telling me, like, hey, you know, this thing can just hover in this area or close up here at 225, 230. Whew. Or go make a big move up, then I'm stuck taking a loss. And that's usually what happens. I mean, you know, like I told you, I was like, there's a bunch of people that are going to be shorting right this first pop. Oh man, they think this thing's going to pop up and die. Yeah, it can. But you have a bunch of shorts that are sitting and they chased all the way through this first 5 minutes. And unlike me, you have to remember, most people short lows. They don't short highs. So most of their average prices, most of their average prices are probably going to be from shorting somewhere down here. Okay, well watch this. We pull this to the right. Okay, we pull that where it was down to the right. Look where it bounced out of. That's because all these shorts that were trapped down here comes down there, they're buying back. They're covering. So you have a combination of longs who know that and shorts that are just happy to get out because they didn't take a loss. So every trade I'm managing somewhat different. Now, think of it like this. We have stair stepping here. Just push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up, pull back. The volatility. People are used to this moving. Oh, let's figure it out. People have seen this move from 207 to 218. They're used to seeing this now move 11 cents. So let's say they're willing to risk, they want to lose, let's say $100. They would take, 1,000 shares. Well, what happens when this pulls what BIYA did? See, look, they're used to trading this size of a range. Well, look, this is 3 times the size of that. That's what catches people off guard. DFNS is one. That's a good example. You see how little these bars are? Okay, it moved from 941 to essentially 775. So let's say $1.50. Okay, so let's say they had 100 shares. $1.50. At most, they were thinking like, oh, okay, I'm down $150. Okay, when it comes over here, what catches people off guard and really causes the squeeze isn't the stock moving up. It's now all of a sudden, this stock, instead of moving $1.50 in the same amount of time, went from $12.80 to $21. It just went $9. They're caught. They were thinking they're sizing for $1.50, and now it's moving $9 against them. It's so easy to blow up because the volatility is now what gets bigger. So that's what I'm always asking myself: is something stair-stepping? Is something stair-stepping, or is it moving in a parabolic manner? I liked this short area, and I would have held it right back down to this. Right here is where I would have gotten out, okay? But once I got in it, the problem is there's no volume. So it was bouncing, the spread on it was like 75 cents, which means there's no way, if I want to hit the bid, it's 75 cents more than the ask. It's a huge, huge price difference that it's not worth me being in the trade. So like I tried holding on for a second. It's like it'd be so easy for me to give my day back doing that, because all of a sudden you're going to get one candle that's going to go shoot up $3 because it's so illiquid. Which it would have been good to hold. I just didn't. And that's pretty much how all these tickers have been all day today. It's like, okay. Our covers down here on Polo don't look too bad now, do they? It's not what I was hoping for or what I wanted. But when I see it come down into here and it's stalling really quick, I'm just going to start taking profits. And that's how a lot of times you're seeing me catch lows. I'm not trying to make X amount out of the stock. I'm going to trade whatever it wants to give me.
God, you look so pretty when you tell me that you love me. God, you look so pretty when you tell me that you love me.
Do you have anyone in general for longing that you watch? Like anyone in general that you're learning from? So, while you're typing, we talked about the short here, and you remember how we talked about if they were going to buy the dip? Those were the two high conviction areas on this chart. If you notice, we're covering into both those areas. Oh yeah, people wish. Him, Ariel used to trade small caps as well. Do you have a broker that you use? Well, you type. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Yeah, IBKR is great. I was on IBKR for quite some time. My big issue was I couldn't ever get locates. I was trading a lot more of the large and the mega caps, which I still trade. I still trade them very consistent. I mean, I'll trade anything that will make me money. And IBKR is great. The only thing I couldn't get is locate. So like I use center point now. Yeah, Ariel I think is just in general, he's one of the very, very few stand-up people. Like, one thing you're gonna learn, 90% of people, brother, don't listen to shit they say. Do not listen to shit they say. They are selling a room because they can't make money trading. I'm not trying to be a dick saying it, but that's why they're selling a room. His room is super cheap. He's super helpful, and he is very consistent. Oh, brother. 500? Dude, there's a room I was part of that I paid $5,000 for a lifetime membership when I started. The guy turned out to be a complete fraud. It was this whole industry is based around that, which is why recently I've started posting a lot more. You know, I think, man, like, dude, trading is the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, I lost my life savings learning how to do this, and I'm not super young. Like, I'm 39 years old. And man, my first 2 or 3 years trading, man, it was just full of people scamming. It was terrible. You know, I have no problems. It's different doing it live, but I have no problems talking about a win, talking about a loss. Like, it makes no difference. You know, I am I'm fortunate in that way. Very, very fortunate. I'm part of a room that's just a really, really, really good. It's a quality room, and I'm fortunate that I was let in it. But the thing is most of us, like, we're never really talking about tickers. We're talking about we're talking more about tickers to avoid. Like, let's say you're long or short. Tickers to avoid, and then tickers worth trading. More than anything, it's just calling out tickers. Most of us already know how to trade. Oh, JD's hilarious. Yeah, like JD would just, let's see if he posted anything recently. Yeah, he just talks shit. I mean, he's hilarious. I haven't seen much of JD today. Yeah, JD didn't post much today. JD's hilarious, though. JD, same way. He's very consistent. Yeah, dude, I'm fortunate. I traded a long time alone, and then I was a moderator of a room for a decent amount of time too. And it wasn't that room; it was a paid room, and I can't get behind someone charging $200 to $250 a month. Like, I want to make my money trading. I don't want to make my money off of people who are struggling to make money trading, and every penny they make should go to their account because they're probably going to blow up your first 5 times, which everyone does. There's 2 things you have to do. 1, you can't give up. 2, you have to be consistent. You have to show up. It takes a long time. It's not one thing. It's not, oh, this bar goes up, this bar goes down. It's every little part of the ticker, right? We talked about this on the way up. Look, it's stair stepping up. Okay. It's not giving us the move we want. We're waiting for a trap. We go, we add size, we short it. Cover into the area. Why? The volume's coming out of it. On top of the volume coming out of it, it's doing the same thing down that did up. What makes me think that out of nowhere this thing's going to dump back down? We're listening to it, and also the market conditions. I'd normally be a lot more patient even here before I would start shorting. But the market cycle we're in, we had parabolics last week, okay? Since we had parabolics last week, everyone's jumping in these tickers right now thinking that this next one's going to do it. Well, yeah, most likely most of these now are just going to dump. So, I'm a lot more cautious on my longing. I'm a lot more patient, and I'm willing to, if I'm coming into a bag holder area like we talked about on this daily chart, I know there's overhead resistance from people that are caught in that ticker. We'll be quicker to take the profits, and that's why we'll be quicker to short it. That's why I can't justify going and charging $200 or $250 a month for a run. Like, I'm a live stream on YouTube and probably Kick. At most, what I'll ever charge is probably like, what, $20 a month, and for a special subscriber, VIP subscribers, so that on weekends we can do, weekly reviews of trades or Q&As or anything, any question people have, because then you can't, if the stream starts picking up, the problem is the chat then has a bunch of people who become essentially lurkers. And not just lurkers, then you have people on top of the lurking that just troll. And so at most, I don't want to make my money off of other people. Tape has big bidder here, so watch. This is probably a spoof. This thing could pick up right here. You see that 20,000 at $2? The tape looks bigger on the downside, which means that they're trying to make it look like there's a lot of bids, like this won't sell down. Which usually means whichever side looks good, it's going to do the opposite. But I just can't justify going and making all my money off of someone else. It is nice though, because trading, it gets, I don't want to say lonely, but man, you spend a lot of time alone, that's for sure. I think everyone's traded Forex as well. That's another animal. Which is just that. It's the same thing with the futures, guys. It's the same thing with the futures, guys. Like, most of those aren't built for people to make money in futures. They're built for those prop firms to make money. Brother, I've probably traded with 100 different people over the last 7 years. There's 2 of us left. The only thing you can really say about trading, let's see if this does what we thought it could potentially do here. Yeah, you come to see it very, very, very often. Most people quit. And that's the problem is that was one of the big things that I really, really wish no one, what people told me was, like, it's going to be a long road. Because everyone on YouTube or Instagram, what they tried to do is they tried to sell you this dream that you're going to get rich overnight. It's not going to happen. But once you figure it out, and you're consistent, and you really learn how to master your mind, man, the money isn't made by the trades you take, it's just by not doing stupid shit at that point. Yeah, dude, most people hate trading. I love it. Just like you said, like, there's something about it, man. And here's the big thing you have to remember. This game isn't about the bars going up and down. It's 100% about your mind. Don't get me wrong. Like, when that stock starts coming down right here, when Pola started coming down, okay? I didn't want to take profits. I want to hold, because then I can make more money. But the problem is my mind then is playing the game on me. And the greed will keep this thing going, and let's say 1 in 3 of these goes and bounces up to $3. The stock was telling me it didn't want to go down. Or when you get into a trade and you're oversized and you freak out, so you don't sell when you should. You learn that your emotions control everything you do, and that's why bar can only go up and down, man. So 50% of people should make money trading. Why do only 3% of people make money trading? Because 97% of people cannot control their emotions while in a trade. And yeah, and that was one of my biggest gifts, man. It wasn't being skilled. I got lucky when I first started, don't get me wrong. During the 2020 bull run, man, I turned like 5,000 into 230 or 240,000 in under a year. I thought I knew exactly what I was doing until the market flipped the other direction and went into a bearish market, and I lost it all in like a month and a half or 2 months. So if you're a long trader, this is where I'd be longing, right here. Super, super tight stop. And so, like, okay, you see how I can sit here and see the chart and kind of predict what it's doing? The reason I can do it is just because of the years spent doing it. Why? Because you and I both said, or because when we were talking down here, we said, hey, if it's going to dump, it probably roll over here. Well, it didn't. So a lot of those guys in the room, this is exactly where they would have bought, right? They would have bought coming back up through here, and they'd be taking profits, a good amount of profits, up into this 210 area. Then they can let a little piece ride, and if it gets going again, now they have a core position that they can add. I personally went long right here because there's no volume coming. It's a dead ticker. But as you were talking about how you said you love stocks and candlesticks, man, let me tell you something. That's the biggest gift you can be given. Like, I don't know if you believe in a higher power or someone above you. Most people quit trading, man, because they don't enjoy it. Man, this has brought me the most, learning has brought me the most pain in the world. Right? Like, it brought me the most pain ever. But it's also been the absolutely most rewarding thing I've ever done. You know, it's great, and I don't think we have control over whether we love it or not. I think that's just something a person's born with. Yeah, brother, I owned my own business. I knew it. I knew it within the first week of me trading, of opening an account. I knew it. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do with my life, for sure. Biggest thing I can tell you, man, find intelligent people, turn off the noise of everyone else, and soak up how they do stuff, what they're seeing. Biggest thing on this chart, right? Let's go to what we were looking at on this. Why didn't I consider this for a long? You see this big volume bar on this day right here? Okay. This volume bar, we go to the 60-minute chart. I don't know why this doesn't let me go back, but I'm gonna have to adjust it because I changed my layout for live stream. But okay, if we zoom out here, or here, let's just do this. Nope, you can't see that. Bummer. I'm gonna show you. I have my other charting platform up on one of my other screens, but what I'm zooming out here for is looking for the volume for you. Okay, you see all this volume right here? What's the date on this? 120. Oh boy, we got a long ways back to go. Okay. Here we go. Okay. In this area, there were people buying this. Okay? 220 was the peak. See this peak here? This peak here? A bunch of people who bought in here, comes up, slams down. On this day here, and this day here, there were a ton of people who bought up in here and slammed down. So this thing came all the way down to $1.50, and they've been sitting in this thing for, let's say, 3 months. When it gets back up there, the first thing they're going to do is get out. Understanding your setup first and foremost. So if we know if this thing broke that 290, my biggest short in this entire chart is going to come right through that high. Most of the time, it's barely going to break the high and then fail. Okay? Barely going to break the high and fail. But let's say this thing starts consolidating up here and then going, I want to get long this stock because every short from below there is trapped now. Okay, so the first thing you always want to do is know your setup. Know what chart you're trading. So that's one of the biggest things I'm always trying to figure out is what kind of trade is it? If I know what kind of trade it is, I can't get caught. Where I'm going to take just an astronomical loss, like this right here today. This was $4.50. Okay, this was $4.50. Look how tiny these bars are right here. They're tiny. Look how big these bars are right here. All this is right here that big candle is, that's someone getting liquidated. That is someone blowing up. That is a broker. As that started squeezing, that is a broker covering a position. Someone over the day scaled into that and they blew up their account. So, knowing your setup, knowing what you're trading, and then trading around that, and that thesis around that is the biggest part. It's when you're not doing that that you just get absolutely wrecked. And see, that's what we were expecting. That's why we said with the long setup here, you see how it stepped down, stepped up. I would have expected this, if it was going to fail, to come down here, give a little bounce, and then continue further. It didn't do that. So by it not doing that, it's doing the opposite. You know, pick, and my advice of anything, pick one thing, one or two styles of what you're doing. Don't jump around to a bunch of different things. Don't try and swing trade. Don't try and trade futures. Don't try and trade small caps. Don't try and do all of it. Pick one thing. Right? And that was something I had to find on my own, because everywhere I went was just getting essentially people that were teaching strategies instead of teaching that a market isn't just a chart pattern. A market is, what are the market conditions? What's everything else doing? It sounds like you have a really good idea of where you're at, what you're doing. The liquidity traps are a big one. Like, that's essentially what BIYA was. I mean, you have a massive sell-off. Eventually, the shorts have to cover. And that's exactly what these pushes up are. They're normally a lot better after you have like a big parabolic run for 2 or 3 days. Since the market's about to close, I'm gonna get up and go eat here in about 10 minutes. But do you have any tickers in general that you'd want to look at from like the past day or two to go over real quick? Where, let's say long or short, where I would say, hey, like this would be the area I would short, or this would be the area I would long. Oh yeah, ADVB. Dude, that stock was just an absolute machine. Yeah, there's a kid we know that took like there's a kid we knew that had like a $25,000 loss on that ticker that day. And that the second I saw this thing moving up, I'll show you exactly. I actually had a really good trade on it. 1 second, I'll show you. on the 22nd. Okay. I was short. I was short this ticker. I believe I shorted like right here. Right? Because it was coming into the previous resistance area. Then when it came down back to 9 and curled back up and started building sideways, I was like, nope, this thing is not done yet. And the next day, I wanted to buy it. I think I wanted to buy it at like $11.30 or $11 to $12, and it never got there. Yeah, I mean, that's a great trade in of itself. What made you like the ticker? Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, we have that inside day, right? When I look at a ticker like this, okay, most breakouts are going to fail, right? So that's another thing I'm always doing is I'm kind of looking at the daily bar. Like, okay, if I'm looking at this daily bar when it's happening, where do I think on the daily bar it would look like it would be coming up and then have the wick slamming down, right? So I was like, okay, make it almost double the size of it, so right around $13, it'd probably do it, right? But when you have that push up, just like you saw, when you have that push up, the pull back down, and then goes sideways, I want nothing to do with shorting it. And those are the ones, like, I see people start chasing that thing. I'm like, no, man, this thing's not failing. It pushed up, it's not liquidating, and now it's going sideways. Get out of the way or get long. And I was longing a lot more when, let's say, like last fall to winter when the market starts getting busier, right? Like after kids go back to school. Right now, everyone's out of school. But as the market will pick up now, coming back into school, that's when I was longing a lot more stocks. And I still try to long, like, SNDK is bound. There's going to be a big trade in SNDK. I like SNDK because of the level it's at, that 1275, 1280. It's down 50%. It's eventually going to offer a good bounce. And it's a capitulation bottom is essentially what they call it. And I started in on it, got out break even, but the long side is definitely like whenever we're in the market for it, I love it. You definitely have a good head on your shoulders, though, man. Whatever you do, there's just a couple rules you have to make for yourself. One, you're just never going to quit. And don't look at it as something that has to happen now or tomorrow. Give yourself the time, right? You're 18 years old. So, okay, think about this. Let's say it took you till you were 30, 12 years. Okay, well, when you're 30 years old, in 1 year, you can make more than most people make in half of their lifetime, man. Just enjoy the process, work hard, and if I can tell you anything, focus on your mind just as much as you focus on your charts. Lastly, let's go see what pull it is. Then I'm getting off. So, when we come to look at it, I think we had a pretty good read on it. Well, okay, here's the big thing. What you always want to be thinking is where are shorts getting in and where are longs getting in. You're always trying, all I'm thinking about constantly is the positioning. I don't care about the bars. The position of each side. Who's in trouble? What are they feeling? Like, you gotta be able to feel what they're feeling. Oh my goodness, the shorts are getting pummeled right now. Or, oh my goodness, longs are about ready to get ran. If I was long right now, I'd be super, super nervous. That's whenever the best time to short is once all the shorts are stopped out. The best time to long is once all the longs are stopped out. Because if all the longs are stopped out, shorts have to stop out. How do shorts stop out? They buy back shares. If 98% of people lose money, I want to do the opposite. So when shorts are in the absolute most pain, one, I hope I'm not short already at that point, because that's when I want to get short. Same thing with longs. That's why BIYA worked the way it did today. Study that chart. Look how deep those pullbacks are on it. That's what gives it the push. We'll look at one more ticker. I guarantee you DFNS gave a decent pullback this morning at some point that got shorts super, super, super excited. Yeah, look, right here. You see it? This is what did it right here. Ticker went from 590 all the way up to 865. $590 to $865. By the way, you see this push right here into the halt? This push into the halt, someone in the room did that today, getting into his position. But this whole entire move stemmed from a $3 bar. 99% of time after a $3 move, or sorry, 568 to after a $2.50 move up in a flush, the stock's dead. No, he was the one who pushed it. He was longing it. So he started on this break right here. When he started his position on this bar, he started his position. He was the one who started moving it, and then that's what started the trail of all the shorts of all the shorts starting to cover. Not like he pushed it up to $3, but on the break of this range, when he'd start putting size behind it, start to move the stock, the shorts start covering. Because, I mean, you have to think, the bar looks tiny now. But at the time, this did not look tiny. This move was from, 686, and it halted all the way up at 817, pushed right away to 923. He didn't even mean to push it like it did, because it shows that it's doing some volume, but so much of that volume is just algorithms buying small amounts of shares back and forth within 10-20 cents. What really got it going was this bar right here. This bar right here. I wish I could. You know what? Chart area, big area, 1 second. Let me see if I can click where it can drag. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this later. But this bar, okay, this big bar up, when they sold that down, everyone thought the ticker was dead. Oh, it's done for the day now. I can tell you right now, what kept me out of it? Leaving it alone? The bar from the 21st. See how I did 20 million shares on the 21st? What ended up happening is whoever the rigger was on this ticker bought his shares and then let the ticker die on the 21st. So they let shorts get comfortable thinking that once it came back up there, it was going to crack again. You see this all the time. You'll see a low volume day 1 or 2 days before. That's your rigger building his position. So what he's doing is buying shares, he's letting it come down, he's letting shorts get comfortable. Then he's going to rip it through the highs, and once he rips it through the highs, everyone chases it, shorting it, and it goes parabolic. Now in the next day or two, he'll probably go and sell his shares.
The room feels empty, the night feels cold. Your side of the bed's still mine.
Hope that helps, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm new to this whole streaming thing, so hopefully it worked out for you, man. If you ever want to do it again, just reach out. I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna do it consistently. Like, come up with the time frame where I do it the first 2 hours of the morning or whatnot. Good, dude. And anytime you have questions, man, just ask. Seriously, I have no problems helping. Yeah, dude. And I think one of the biggest things you can do is ask yourself, what triggered this move? That's always the biggest thing. This bar right here is everything. Shorts got comfortable with that. Man, it just shot up 250. They sold it right back down. That's your rigger setting the trap right there. And he did it by accumulating shares on the 21st. Yeah, brother. Hey, have a good night, man. Take it easy.